Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw Muffet from Undertale. So let's get started at the top of our page with the eye. So I'm going to get started on the left side with a curve. From the outside of the eye I want to come in and then just pull it down. Now I want to connect the outsides with a curve coming down the lower eyelid. Starting at the top, I'll curve down and then just pull that back up. We're going to leave a gap in the center and do the same thing on the right side. So we're going to line up the inside of the eye, curving up and then out. And then again, we're going to connect the bottom and then the top with another curve. Now up along the top here, there's three other eyes. So in the middle, we're going to draw the center one first, starting with a little point. From this point, I want to curve out towards the left and pull it back in towards the center. Go back to the top, go in the opposite direction. Now in between the eyes, we're going to draw another set of eyes. So we're going to take this eye and just turn it in between here. Starting at the top, curve down, then in, and we'll curve in the opposite direction. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Starting on the inside, curve up, then over. Just in the center down here, we're going to draw in the mouth. So from left to right, we're going to draw a simple little curve. And then on either side, I want to draw in the fangs. So on the left side, we're going to step in slightly and draw a V. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Now I want to add a highlight on the top left of each of the eyes. So let's start on the left side first. So up here underneath the eyelid, I'm going to draw almost like a half circle going all the way around. Now I'm going to draw that same thing on the right side, but I want to line up the bottom edge of the circle. So starting on the inside of the eyelid, we'll just curve it up and under. Now at the top here, we'll draw one tiny circle. We'll do one on the left side of the center eye, and we'll do the same thing on the right. Now from here I want to draw the inside edge of the hair. So I'm going to start directly above this eye, right up here. We're going to start with a point. It's almost like drawing a circle with an open end at the bottom. So start at the top, and go around the eyes, and we'll pull it down and then in. We're going to do the same thing on the right side, but I want to add a little notch on the left side here. So we're going to curve over. Then right here I just want to draw almost like an upside down V. We'll continue that curve around the eyes, down, and then in. Now let's work our way around the outside of the head. So from these points, I want to curve up and out. So we're going to taper this line, going alongside the side of the head. I'm going to draw one more strand of hair. So a little short curve coming down. Now we're going to take these points and curve around the side and then pull it in on the side here. Starting on the left, we'll go out, then we'll pull it in towards the head. Do the same thing on the right side. And then I want to connect these 2 points with another half circle, just going a little bit higher in the center. Let's move to the side of the head and draw the bow and the pigtails. So I'm going to start on the left side here with a little half circle. Do the same thing on the right. So we're going to line this up on the right. Now let's add the bow. On the top of this circle, I'm going to curve up and then over. And then from here, I'm just going to curve this in behind the head. In the bottom, we're going to go in the opposite direction. So we're going to curve out and then down, and we'll pull it in behind the head. I just want to add a little wrinkle on the sides. So on the inside here, I'm just going to draw a little hook. Do the same thing on the bottom. Let's do the same thing on the right. So at the top of the circle, we're going to curve up, then in, and then we'll pull it down behind the head. Go back down towards the bottom, curve out, then we'll hook that back in. Let's draw the little wrinkles. Now let's add in the pigtails. So right here, right where the circle meets this bow, I'm going to curve up and out. Do the same thing on the right side. I want to curve down the side, but I'm going to add a little notch on the side. So on the left, we're going to curve across. We're going to do a sideways V, and then we'll continue that curve coming down. Do the same thing on the right. Curving down, do the sideways V, and curve down. Now we're just going to pull this up underneath the bow. Now from here, we're going to draw in the head coming down towards the neck. So from this point in the hair, we're going to step up, curve down, and then in. Do the same thing on the right side. Now I'm going to round this out and come down towards the center, leaving a little space in between. So on the left, I'm just going to curve down, leave a little space in the center on both sides. Now here, I just want to draw in a circle for the bow. So just touching the bottom of the neckline. Now we're going to add the bow on either side of the circle. So right up here, we're gonna curve up and out on both sides. Then we're gonna step down and curve in the opposite direction. We wanna connect the outside lines with a curve. And then on the side of the circle, I just wanna draw a little hook for the wrinkle of the bow. Continue working down with the body. So at the corner of this bow, I'm gonna curve down and go out. Do the same thing on the right side. Now in the middle here, I'm just gonna curve down and over towards the left. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than the lines on the side. I'm gonna take these 2 points and connect it. Now underneath this line here, I'm gonna step down here and curve in the opposite direction towards the right. Then we're gonna connect those 2 points with another curve. Now we're gonna tuck the legs in underneath the shirt. So on the corner of the shirt here, we're gonna step in, we're gonna round this out, and then pull that back in. We do the same thing on the right, going out, and then pulling that in. In the middle, we're gonna step up, and just draw a little curve for the lower torso. Now from the center, we're gonna curve down towards the left, aiming towards the outside of the leg. Do the same thing on the right. Down along the bottom here, I want to add a little frill. So it's basically 3 little half circles tucked in underneath the leg. So on the left side, we're going to step out and draw 1 tiny little half circle. Go to the inside, stepping in, draw another half circle. Now we're going to connect those 2 points with another half circle. We'll do the same thing on the right. Starting on the inside, we'll step in, we'll step out, and then we'll connect those 2 points. Just in the middle here, we're gonna add 2 circles for the buttons. And then we're gonna add those 2 stripes on the side. So let's start on the left side. Just down here on the inside of the leg, curve up and out. Now we're gonna connect those 2 points by curving out and then back in. We'll do the same thing on the right. Starting at the bottom, curving up, and then we'll go a little bit wider on the outside. We're gonna do that again on the outside. Stepping down, curve up, connect those 2 points again, going out towards the side of the leg, then back in. Now we can tuck in the legs underneath the shorts. So we're gonna start just at the bottom here, curving in and then down towards the heel. We'll do the same thing on the right side, coming in towards the center. Now from here, I just wanna draw 2 angled lines going up. Now we're gonna round out the bottom of the foot. So from this point, curve down, then out towards the left, down, and then out towards the right. I'm gonna draw a couple bumps for the top of the foot. So from the toe, I'm gonna curve over and in. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Now I'm gonna curve up towards the ankle. So from here, I'm gonna curve up and then in. And then we're gonna curve out underneath the shorts. So from here, I'm just gonna curve out, do the same thing on the right side. Let's move back up and draw on the arms. So I'm gonna start with the shoulders first. So on the side of the neck, on the left side, we're gonna draw a curve, almost like a circle, going around the bow, and then just pulling that in. Do the same thing on the right side, going around the bow, and then pulling that in. We're gonna add 2 little circles on the side. So from this point, I'm gonna step up, and draw 1 half circle, and then the second one's gonna get tucked in behind the body. Do the same thing on the right side. Now there's 3 sets of arms, so we're gonna start with the top set first. So underneath the shoulder, right down here, we're gonna curve out and then down towards the left. We're gonna curve up the forearm, going up. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Curving down and out. Now we're gonna curve up towards the wrist. We're gonna draw on the thumb from this point. We're gonna go around and then just pull that in. Right in behind, we're gonna draw an oval for the fingers. So on the side of the thumb, draw a little oval and just tuck that in. Let's do the same thing on the right side. We're gonna start with the thumb, going around, then pulling that in. We're gonna draw that oval in behind the thumb. Now she's holding 2 cups on the side. So let's start on the left side here. I'm gonna start with a curve. And we wanna make sure that this curve goes above the thumb line. So starting on the left, go up, and then over. I'm gonna connect those 2 points with a curve coming down. It's almost like a half oval, but we wanna go below the hand. Coming down, and then back up. At the base here, I'm gonna draw 2 angled lines coming out. Connect those 2 points with a curve. Now we're gonna have to draw on the handle in behind the cup. So at the top, I'm I'm gonna curve down in behind the fingers. Then from the bottom, we're gonna curve up in the opposite direction, in behind the fingers. Now we're just gonna trace this out on the inside, just to create the handle. Let's take that and flip it over on the right side. So we're gonna start with the top curve first, so again, up above the fingers. Now we're gonna draw that half oval, coming down, and then back up. At the base, we're gonna draw 2 angled lines coming down, and then connecting it with a curve. Now let's draw that handle. From the top corner, curve over, in behind the fingers, and then below the fingers, in towards the cup. Now we're just gonna trace this out on the inside. Now let's go back and draw on the bottom part of the arm. So right from the handle, I'm gonna curve in towards the wrist. We're gonna follow the upper part of the arm coming down towards the elbow. To right here, I wanna draw a little point at the elbow. So following this angle, we're just gonna draw a short line coming out. We curve in behind the shoulder, curving back up. Let's do the same thing on the right. So underneath the handle, we'll curve in. We're gonna follow this curve of the arm coming down towards the elbow. Now we're gonna follow that line down towards that spike with a straight line. Then we're gonna curve this in behind the shoulder. Now we're gonna move down and draw that same set of arms. So starting on the side of the body, curve down and then out. Now we're gonna curve up toward the wrist. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Starting from the same height, curve down and out. Then we'll curve up towards the wrist. Now from here, let's draw in the thumb, just like we did on the top. Going around and then pulling that in. We're gonna draw in the fingers, so a little oval tucked in behind the thumb. Do the same thing on the right. Going around, and then we'll draw that little oval in behind the thumb. Now these hands are holding a little kettle, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with an oval first. Starting from the side of the hand, I'm gonna leave a little open gap on the left side, so right here. We're gonna leave a gap, continue down, and then in behind the hand. Right here, at the top, we're gonna curve up. We'll flatten it out. Now we're gonna connect the top and the bottom with another curve. And then at the very top here, I'm just gonna add a little circle. At the bottom, we're gonna add that same thing we did with the cups. We're gonna add 2 angled lines going out, and then connect it with a curve. Now up here, I just wanna add a little frilly edge. So in the middle, I'm gonna draw a little half circle. Now from the left side, I'm gonna curve in towards the side of the cup on the left, and then on the right. Now let's add that handle. So similar to what we did with the cups, I'm gonna start on the inside, curving in behind the fingers. At the bottom, we'll go up in the opposite direction, and then we're just gonna trace it out on the inside. Let's take that kettle and do the same thing on the right side. Starting right beside the fingers, we're gonna go up, drawing that oval, coming down towards the side. Go back to the inside, curve in the opposite direction. Again, leaving a gap on the side here. We're gonna draw the spout. And then at the top, we're gonna add a little circle. At the bottom, we're gonna draw those 2 angled lines coming out, and then we're gonna connect it with a curve. Now let's add that little frilly detail up here. Start with a little half circle in the middle, curve down and out toward the left, and then the right. Now let's work in the bottom part of the arm. So in behind this handle, we're just gonna curve in the bottom part of the palm. Now I'm gonna follow that arm down towards the elbow. Right there. I'm gonna follow this curve of the arm with a straight line coming out, and then we're gonna pull that in behind the body. Let's do the same thing on the right. So we're gonna start with the handle first, starting on the side, curve in behind the fingers, then in behind the kettle, and then again, just tracing it out on the inside. Let's draw on the back side of the palm. So right here, we're gonna curve up, follow the arm back in towards the elbow. Now this line is gonna make that little spike. So we're gonna draw a straight line coming out. From here, we're gonna taper this back in behind the body. Now the last set of arms are just gonna hang down on the side. So we're gonna start on the side of the leg. We're gonna curve down. We're gonna do that twice. So we're gonna step in, just draw that thickness of the arm coming down towards the wrist. From the inside, we're gonna draw a little half circle for the thumb. We're gonna draw a little bracket at the end of the thumb. And we're just gonna add 2 fingers. So at the bottom of the thumb, we're gonna curve down and then up. We're gonna step down to create an overlap, curve around towards the outside of the wrist. Now let's do the same thing on the right. Starting on the side of the leg, curve down and out, step down, draw that twice. Now on the inside, we're going to draw a little half circle for the thumb, and then a bracket. At the bottom of the thumb, we're going to swirl around the bracket and go up. We're going to step down, curve around towards the outside of the wrist. And there we have it. There's Muffet from Undertale. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send me a request in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.